Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with another video on Polène handbag. So last year I already made a video sharing my top 3 most used Polène handbags in 2023. And today I'm gonna be sharing 4 Polène bags that just didn't work for me or eventually didn't work for me, my needs, my lifestyle, or my other preferences when it comes to handbags. And this is really not to discourage you from purchasing a certain designs from Polène. Really, essentially, I just want to share my experience and give you some things to consider before purchasing or not purchasing a new handbag. So I'm gonna start with the handbag that I kept the longest before I eventually decided to put it up on sale. So I started buying Polène handbag basically towards the end of 2022, and one of the very first Polène handbags that I ever purchased was the Umi in chalk. I also bought another one in taupe and I sold it right away, but the Umi in chalk, I had it for around a year. And in the beginning, I really loved the Polène Umi first because even though it looks simple, but it has an elegant twist just like most Polène handbags. I love the chalk color. I think it's one of my most favorite colors from Polène because it gives such nice contrast to my neutral clothing. I wear a lot of neutrals like beige and nude. At the time, I like the size. It's not as big as a tote bag, but as a shoulder bag, it seemed to be rather bigger than most. I love the minimalist but elegant hardware. I love the pebble leather, so I love that bag. The only visible problem for me was the zipper. At the time, a lot of people already complained about the Umi zipper being hard to work with, but in my opinion, at the time, I was willing to put up with it. It's not like the most annoying zipper around. And I noticed that I started to wear the Umi less and less. Every time I thought I would go out with the Umi, I would always end up with a different bag. It started to feel bulkier under the arm, especially because I also eventually got the disc. This is the disc, one of my favorites. I have multiple discs, but the one in taupe is the one that I would say I wear the most. And the disc is by no means bulky. It doesn't have problem with the zipper. When it comes to shoulder bags, I just wore the disc way more often. As I mentioned, the Umi for a shoulder bag is actually a bit bigger than your typical shoulder bags, and that's also one of the reasons, I guess, why I loved it in the beginning. I could fit, along with my essentials, both my traveling praying set with a small water bottle. But then one day I had to change my traveling praying set into something a bit thicker, and just like that, I couldn't fit it inside the Umi along with my other stuff. And then the zipper as well. When you're on the go and you need to grab something real quick from inside your bag, it's gonna be a challenge with the Umi because there's a zip on top of the bag that you need to work with in order to open the bag, the zipper. The design that they made with the Umi, there's some pieces of leather sticking inward. I started to, feel very limited by the design. It was just getting hard to work with, and eventually I let the Umi go. Maybe I really shouldn't be talking about the Umi too long because it has now been discontinued, I believe like earlier this year. But I would like to say something about the Umi. Polène improved the zipper when they had the rebranding. I remember the later Umi that I purchased for my customer because, again, if you don't know yet, I personal shop from Paris, from Korea, and also from the US. The zipper was smooth, very smooth, and the leather, as I've mentioned in my other video, just felt more supple. Something quick about quality improvement by Polène post rebranding is that just like the zipper with the Umi, the Beri that they had later also has like a magnetic quality to it, so it's easier to work with because previously it's not like that. The old hardware on Beri felt very Neanderthal, so I can kind of justify the price increase by Polène. Guys, if you happen to own Polène Umi, please do share your experience down below. If I ended up selling my Umi, maybe you still own it and love it, please share your experience down below to help the others. The second Polène handbag that I had for quite a while and I eventually let go was the Numéro Neuf Mini in chalk. In the beginning, I loved that bag, so I went and purchased, I believe, a couple more colors. But the chalk was the one that I kept and I wore the most. If I'm not mistaken, I had it for around 6 months and I wore it maybe like 5 or 6 times. So first, what I love about the Numéro Neuf Mini, because even though eventually I let it go and I no longer have it, but I still think it has one of the most beautiful designs by Polène. It's very unusual. I believe it's even like a never before seen design. It's very beautiful, but it had everything that I would typically like from a handbag. It had top handle and also the option of removable and adjustable long strap. The base was around 23 centimeters, so it's actually quite spacious. But just like a lot of other people, eventually it just didn't work for me. First, that narrow opening. Even though the bag itself actually has a good capacity, but because of that narrow opening, you can just, in my opinion, feel it half full. Or you would struggle to, you know, put something in and out. For example, like your phone, you would have to angle it a certain way. Over time, it started to get annoying. And second, the bag has very prominent corners at the base, and this is something that really surprised me because after those, you know, like few months that I had the bag, I noticed, like one day I noticed there was already a small wear in one of the corners, like some of the leather were missing, so you can see the underlying leather. And with the Neuf Mini, for me, it's one of my nicer looking bags, so I would be careful with it. If I had the option to put it on top of a hard table versus a cushiony couch or bench, I would put it on the bench. And I never, with any of my bags, throw them around. And as a crossbody bag, the bag is too bulky, too voluminous. It would stick out. Like it just doesn't sit against your hip comfortably. It's too bulky. It's just like weird. So for the Neuf Mini, as I mentioned, after like 6 months, I sold it. And the third bag, I believe I didn't even wear it once. It's the regular sized Numéro 9. I believe I purchased the regular size Neuf in beige and camel. Again, I couldn't decide which neutral that I like better, that would work with my clothes better, so I went out and purchased both. But when I received it and playing around with it, especially the capacity, I knew it was not the bag for me. First, the bag felt very heavy. So when I got the bag, immediately I wanted to test the capacity. I remember putting in a novel, my small water bottle, and also again my traveling praying set, and the bag already felt pretty heavy. There's no way I would wear a heavy handbag on a daily basis. But to be fair, around that time until now, whenever I know I need to carry more stuff, I would go with a tote bag, even a nylon one. So maybe at the time I was already used to nylon handbags that the regular size Neuf felt heavy, maybe, but I don't know. For me, it was just, it's heavy. And second, even though the bag actually has a good size as a handbag, but the shape and the design was just very voluminous that it felt bulky. And I'm pretty petite, guys. I'm only 5 feet. So whenever I carried the regular size Neuf, it looked like I was carrying a pillow. Sometimes it felt like a sack. And especially because having on both the regular size Neuf and also the Neuf Mini, the Neuf Mini maintained its shape better. Like it's more structured. I have seen a lot of funny looking Neuf on the internet. I think some people just don't stuff the bag when they store it. Some people intentionally press the bag. Some people like to leave their regular size Neuf open and it would just look weird and, I'm sorry, but rather ugly. If you really like the design of the Numéro 9, get the mini one. I think eventually the design of the bag was really the main reason why I let it go, because I remember thinking, oh my god, this bag being bulky as it is with the corners at the bottom, I was so afraid. Like, I could already see myself bumping into walls and people, and I immediately sold my regular size Neuf. But I have to say though, the Neuf in camel looked really beautiful. In beige, not really, but the regular size Neuf, even the mini one in camel and chalk look very beautiful. I think that's the thing with Polène handbags. If you like one particular color, for example, like the chalk, it looks really great on the Neuf, on Umi, but I'm not a big fan of the dis in chalk. And now we're down to the last bag. So with the regular size Neuf, even though I didn't even wear it out once, but it took me quite a while until I decided to let it go. I kept it for quite a while, playing around with it, with the capacity before I sold it. But with this last bag, yeah, I sold it like immediately, and it was the Tonka in the acru color. When I saw the bag online and also on like YouTube reviews, I remember thinking what a beautiful bag that was. But then I received the bag and I remember feeling immediately underwhelmed. It just didn't look as beautiful in person compared to online. I don't even know why. There's no false advertisement. It's not the case of what you order versus what arrived. No, but it's just not that beautiful when I had it in my hands. The second problem that I had with the Tonka, and this is important, being a crossbody bag, didn't sit comfortably against my hips. The bag would feel like it's just like floating around. And third reason was the Tonka is not as structured as I thought it would be. The bag is actually pretty soft. So then when I open and close the flap, it would just like deform because it's very soft. And immediately I found it hard to work with. And again, the design, as beautiful as it is, the Tonka was just not the best when it comes to what you can put inside. Because not only the bag already has a saddle style, there's that prominent design at the front, and plus we have an uneven flap that really limits what you can put inside, or at least how you can position them. So guys, those are 4 Polène bags that I no longer have. I really have to say those are really my early favorites. I went on to explore more other designs by Polène that even today end up being my favorites. It's really quite a journey, especially because I like most designs that Polène does. And I've mentioned this before, Polène, in my opinion, also does colors very well. In case you don't know, Polène used to make very generic looking bags that you can see anywhere. But we know that's no longer the case. They make beautiful bags and I still highly recommend them. But based on my own experience, it's quite a journey. I purchased multiple bags that just ended up not working for me, but it doesn't mean that you cannot find other bags from Polène that will work out. Please guys, if you have bought any bags from Polène that you really love or that just ended up not working for you, please share your experience down below. And if you guys have any questions, also just drop it down below. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.